And in some ways they didn't have a choice, but the one thing Liverpool got wrong, in my opinion, was they brought too many players in at the one time. We're talking about 6 and 7 players. When Kenny left, towards the end of the season, the next season, when Graham Souness came in, he brought in 6 or 7 players at the one time, and expected that 6 or 7 to be the same as what they were replacing, which is impossible. You know, all the best teams are built on getting a gut, building around it, and then as you're going along and winning trophies and being successful, you add a bit on, and you add a little bit on, and so the culture's continuing with little pieces at a time. But when you start signing 6 and 7 players, putting them all in the team at the same time, and expecting the results that an experienced world-class team was getting, it isn't going to happen. And that, to me, is what it looks like. Man City are trying to do that, and Liverpool tried it, and you see what happened at Liverpool.
Now, Mark, obviously we will be hearing soon the outcome of the 115 charges against Manchester City. So if I'm to put that aside, and we're just to forget about that right now, and imagine that it's just purely football-wise we're talking right now. Last night, there was a question on extra time as to actually how many players were needed to actually change things as they are right now at Manchester City. Craig said it would be a minimum of 3 or 4, went through them. What do you think?
Well, Rodri will be back at the start of next season, so that would be like a new sign. They've really missed Rodri, but Nico Gonzalez, who's come in, has already looked like he's shown flashes against Newcastle at the weekend that he's much better than what they had in terms of Gundogan and the players around him. So you could already say they've maybe addressed the midfield area in that position. I think defensively, they've already added 2 defenders during the window in Kujanov and Reis. So they need a left back. I think that's definitely need a left back. They probably need something to replace De Bruyne. They're looking at Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen. I think it would be a perfect replacement for Bernardo Silva. So I do think that if City get 3, maybe 4 players in, don't forget they added 4 in January as well. I think 3 would probably get them back to where they want to be in terms of being competitive. But there are a lot of players that need to go. I mean, we went through the list, didn't we? Stones, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Grealish. Walker's gone, that's 5. Edison might go, so that's 6. So, if 6 leave, 4 might not be enough. So it's going to take a bit of work, but I do think City have still got a lot of promise there. They've got Oscar Bob, who's a promising young kid as well. He'll be back from injury soon. So it looks really bad at the moment, but I do think there are mitigating factors in the sense that a lot of the players had a really long summer. They didn't have a break. Phil Foden came back, wasn't fit, has been struggling all season. So I think, I was going to say, when City have a break this summer, they won't have a break, will they? They're playing the Club World Cup, so that will have a knock-on effect as well. But I do think 4 good signings will get City back to where they need to be, because they're not that far away in terms of the quality, but it's the key players that have got all at once. And Stevie's right. If you start replacing great players with players who are inferior, then you're going to decline as a team. So City have to guard against that. But they have got the resources, and they've got the coach, and they've got the backroom staff and the management team to make sure that they do make the right decisions in the market.
Obviously, it's taken a bit of time for Real Madrid to click this season, but we're seeing it now, Stevie. What did you make of their performance yesterday?
A combination of the pace at which they go forward, not just the pace, but the accuracy and the technique that they have running at defenders at such pace is nigh on impossible to stop, really. If this Real Madrid team, this forward line, or this front 4 in particular, makes better decisions in the final third, they're scoring a bag load of goals right now. They're going to score even more, because that's the only thing that's stopping them annihilating a lot of teams, particularly in the Champions League. That final decision, they get that right. I don't care what defence you put in front of them. They're going to undo it.